fishing. We're going to be talking about the NOAA fishing closure, all the bottom fishing closure that they're talking about, suggesting from, what is it, December 1st all the way till end of February, right?
Correct. 3
So,
months, a quarter of the year.
yeah, so we're going to be trying to get that going. So we're going to wait and get a little bit of people in here. So once y'all get in here, you know, if y'all have any questions or anything or suggestions, what we're trying to do is get a little bit of involvement, because right now, Blake looked it up. When was that? This morning that you looked it up? How many comments?
Yep, an hour ago.
There's
only 118
comments on NOAA's, you know, trying to close off the bottom fishing. So there's only 118 comments, and we're trying to get people involved. We're trying to get more people going on this.
They're going to take away a quarter of the year to bottom fishing simply to save the overpopulated red snapper. There's a lot of information. I've gone through all of their information. We're going to be filming on mine. We get some people in here. We're going to start the filming, and we're going to kind of review what we're talking about right now. But we need to just make people aware. I've got all of their charts. We've got all of their information. AJ and I have been talking about it back and forth. And these people, they've lost their minds if they think we trust anything they say at this point. Their own research that they have to post. It's boring as all get out, and I think they do that on purpose as well, so that you don't watch it. But I've really been doing all the homework for you guys. All you have to do is take this little bit of time, just a little bit of time, to get a hold of your representatives, your senator. You know, we had two, but Marco Rubio, he moved on up to working with Trump's cabinet stuff. So we're going to have to get another senator. But right now we can wear out Rick Scott. John Rutherford, he is a Florida representative for the 5th District. And he's already hollered and screamed and complained about this, as well as about 20 others. And but he's our representative for our area. So we're definitely going to be hitting him up, and we guys need you guys to do the same. You got to talk to your state representatives, your federal representatives, your senators. You got to wear them out about this, because they're taking a quarter of the year away from fishing to protect a fish that doesn't need protecting. As a matter of fact, needs thinning out. There's way too many of them.
How do we know that there's way too many of them? What happened the last time we went offshore trolling?
Yeah, we're trolling 7 knots catching red snapper on the troll with skirted ballyhoo, rigged skirted ballyhoo. The bait's a foot long,
and they're coming up.
Not, and they're coming up and eating them off the bottom.
It wasn't just one. It happened twice within what?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. And it wasn't exactly over the same spot either.
No, it was not the same spot.
Yeah, so they're eating themselves out of house and home. Blake's got a video that he's got. It's showing all this, and it shows like how they're so populated on such a small space, such a small area, that they're just eating every little thing. You know, our black sea bass population is gone. So he's got all that on his, and just for everybody that's ain't getting in here and watching, Dull Hooks and Dumb Luck Fishing. That's Blake's channel. I'll get it on the, I'll put a link to it once the live goes up onto our channel. I'll put a link on there so y'all can follow it back to his channel and subscribe, because this has been his passion project for like the last 6-8 months. He's been doing all his research, going through, finding people at NOAA, watching all these boring SAFMC, which is the South Atlantic Fishery Management Council. He's been watching all of their stuff and spending that time, and he sent me a couple videos, and I watched like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I can't do this.
So you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. I had to go through it. You don't. It's torture, I promise.
Yeah, but
terrible.
He's getting it all out there for us. So, but we have to, as the anglers, we have to fight against them, because government is just overreaching. Every single space of government is overreaching. So we've got to get in there. We've got to fight against them. We've got to get our voices heard. And the way to do that is NOAA's got the comments section. They're having 5 different meetings, and we should have wrote those down, but on the 24th in Jacksonville, they've got one. What is the other ones? Oh, you got them? Just so happens.
I have all this information, I told you. Just so happens I have all this information. That is not the one we're looking for. So the first one is in Morehead City, North Carolina. And it is 4 to 8 p.m. on February 6th. February 24th, 4 to 8 will be in Jacksonville. The 25th is going to be in Cocoa, and all this stuff will be posted on the video that we're going to be making here. And I'm gonna try to get this posted by tomorrow, which is Sunday the 2nd. So you'll have to go on there and get all these, and I'll have all the different information posted on there. But then the last one is going to be in on Jekyll Island in Georgia at the Villa by the Sea on March 5th. They've got one also in South Carolina, but I didn't do that. I didn't get that one on my screenshot because I'm not going to South Carolina. So
where's that closure going to start and stop?
So the closure actually starts and stops from about the 28 lat line, which is basically Port Canaveral, Central Florida, and it goes up to the Florida-Georgia line. It's going to be the closure. I got a hold of the guys over at NOAA and asked them why North Carolina and South Carolina and Georgia, why they got to talk about our fishery. And I guess basically because of the Magnuson-Stevens Act from 1976, where all this protecting the fish stuff came from, that brought in funding and everything for these people to have jobs where they can be wrong all the time and still have a job.
Government.
It's funny, but it ain't funny. But they actually have to have a meeting within reasonable destination for anybody that wants to come in their region. And the southeast region of NOAA is North Carolina to basically Key West, Florida.
North Carolina, Virginia line? Or
Yes,
North Carolina?
North Carolina,
Okay.
Virginia line, down to basically the Keys. And then the Georgia side is actually different because this is the southeast Atlantic. So once you hit the Gulf of Mexico, it goes to a whole different set of folks. So that's why they have to have the meetings in the other places too, which that didn't make sense to me, but I did call them and ask, and it's just part of the requirement that anybody that could possibly be affected that is in their area, they have to have a reasonable place for a meeting. So they can't make them drive all the way to Jacksonville from North Carolina, so they had to do that.
And we'll be at the one on the 24th. Both of us will be there. We're bringing a couple of our other friends. We need to see if Mike D will come.
Yeah, he probably will.
Yeah, so we're just trying to get some of our friends to go to do that, and all of our voices need to be heard. Every single person that goes offshore and does any kind of offshore fishing needs to get into these meetings, because if we're not saying anything, we're not getting our voices heard, and they're just going to run with whatever they think is best. And clearly from some of the things that Blake's told me from some of these, like looking at the information that they have gotten, they don't understand how to even read their own information.
Or they're lying about it.
And there's one that on Blake's last video.
We're in the Lake Woodruff National Wildlife Refuge, and the birds are going crazy behind us.
So there's one thing that Blake was talking about, and he was trying to give me the information, and like they didn't even understand. They're like, oh well, we don't, there's just no correlation. And we're sitting here, we're like, it's clear, it's right there, it's on your damn papers.
Yeah, the charts don't lie. They have to put the information on the charts, and the charts are right there. They're right there in your face. And again, I'll be posting all of that stuff. I'll be talking about all that stuff on my video, Dull Hooks and Dumb Luck Fishing on YouTube. But you're definitely gonna have to go over and hit pause, do screenshots, and zoom in, and you look at it. And it's right from them. I tried on most of them. I tried to make it. Some of them I had to eliminate it, but it says South Atlantic, it says SAFMC, which is the South Atlantic Fisheries Management Council. It says it right on the chart. So it's not like I'm just making up these charts. It's their charts.
Yeah.
And
it showed, what did it show the other day? It's got a higher population, the one that you had on your last video over there on your channel. It showed that it had the highest population of red snapper that they've ever recorded. That's since they started recording back in was it 50s or 70s? They started recording.
That was the 70s.
70s. They've got more now than they ever have. And what's their idea? They're saying, oh well, the reason why we keep the only giving y'all 1 day on the Atlantic coast is because we want the bigger fish. We want to see more of the bigger fish. But yet they're not regulating us when we go out for our one day. They're not regulating us and saying like, hey, don't take the big ones. Leave the big ones behind because Blake's got what was the spawn rate? A 2-year-old fish. No, a 10-year-old fish puts off how many?
One 10-year-old red snapper produces as many eggs as 34 2-year-old snapper.
34 2-year-olds. What size do you think a 2-year-old is?
Up to 20 inches.
Up to 20 inches.
Yeah, up to 20 inches.
But
roughly. I mean,
one
depending
10-year-old.
Depending on their diet, they could be a little smaller, maybe a little bigger. And I actually have that chart as well, right from those guys. I'll put it on there.
And they don't understand because obviously we're seeing this now. Everybody's posting this thing about FWC and how the heads of FWC are land developers. They're not people that should be in those positions. They're people that, just bureaucratic bullshitters. So anyways, we're gonna get started on this video here so we can get through it. We're gonna have y'all come along with us. If y'all have any comments, leave them in here and we can read them. We can see them here. So we see Jeff's been on here. We got Bubba asking how are we? We're good. We're out here. It's a beautiful day. Look at that sky back there. Nice and overcast, but we're in the wildlife refuge. It's looking good. So anyways, we're gonna get started on this video, but we want y'all to come along and help us out. Tell us when, if we skip something and you're like, hey, what about this? Then I can pan it over and Blake can see that. And we can make sure that we get a good video for everything because we're trying to get y'all involved. We're trying to get everybody involved because we love to fish. That's our passion. So obviously that's many of y'all's passions too. So we're trying to keep that going. So anybody that's on here, feel free to comment. Jeff Miller, when are you guys going to kiss? Oh, get out of here. Anyways, we're trying to sit close. We got the phone uphill instead of sideways. Come on now.
Hey, it's all fun and games till I stand up and poke AJ's eye out.
Oh.
Serious note though, like even if you're not involved in fishing, go over and watch this because I will show you how they have absolutely destroyed the reefs. If listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you call yourself environmentalist and I call you a tree hugger, so be it. I'll guarantee you when you look at this, you don't have to like me, but I promise you're not gonna like their charts showing how they've decimated, trying to save one species of red snapper, how they've decimated so many others because of what they're calling, their low recruitment now on red porgy and gag grouper and black grouper and scamp grouper and black sea bass and it's all one fish. And I can show you because they started the closures in 2010. And the charts that they have that I'm going to post, their charts, it says right on it, since 2010, their baby levels have been dropping off. Gee, I wonder what could have been different there. Is it environment change or climate change? They're thinking it might have something to do with climate change. No, suckers, you're changing the environment where they're trying to grow up. So, I'm fixing to get fired up. So,
and they're eating themselves out of house and home, literally.
Yeah,
literally,
it's ridiculous out there. If you go out and do any kind of bottom fishing at all, anywhere up and down this coast over here, from North Carolina down toward the Keys, it does dwindle off with the red snapper down toward the Keys because of their environment. That's not really part of their environment. We're actually like ground zero right here at about Canaveral. I was actually told that by one of the biologists at NOAA just the other day.
So I saw it on one of the social medias. I don't remember which one it was. They tagged a red snapper with a tracker, like one of those, ones that they can, if they bring it back up, they can see where it's been. They can obviously see the information of where they tagged it at, when they tagged it. They found that thing not even a couple months later. They were off the coast of Daytona Beach. They found it over there in the damn Gulf. It made its way all the way around. So how does that happen? The Gulf's got 100 and something days. I think it was 104 days of red snapper fishing. We got one. And unfortunately, my boat had problems. So we had to turn around and come back. So we didn't even get to fish that day. So, obviously there's a problem there, but it's just ridiculous what we're going through with NOAA and the SAFMC, and there's lawsuits going everywhere. There's all kinds of activists that need to get involved that aren't, because it's just something that's going by the wayside. So if y'all will get on to Dull Hooks and Dumb Luck Fishing, get on to Blake's channel, check out some of these videos. We're gonna film one right now, and we're just bringing y'all along. But like I said, have any comments or questions? Please feel free to get on in here. You know, see if we like. Obviously, we understand the information because we've talked about it so much. But if there's something that we, glaze over and we don't get the full view across, let us know and we'll add it to it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I really want to do this just so that everybody knows exactly what's going on. They're tearing it up. They're destroying it. You can ask anybody. Matter of fact, there's one fella. He's one of the advisories for the South Atlantic Council. He's an advisory on the snapper and grouper, and he actually said something the other day about, oh, don't just believe your buddy's hearsay. Do your own research. Do this. Do that. Blah blah blah. Oh, talk about getting fired up, because I've been steady on it for 6 months. I've done my research from their research on their paperwork. So,
and you've talked to multiple people involved with both of those.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So I've been talking to them. I've been making phone calls. There's a couple of them that I talked to on the down low, and I'm not gonna give their names out ever. I never will, because I really want to keep having the information. So there's a couple of them that I talk to regularly and get kind of some inside information, and there's some other ones that, I mean, it's just, these people, they have their college degrees. Well, I don't care unless you know what you're doing with your 2 + 2 = 4. That's elementary school. In college, they should have taught you what to do with 4, but no, that's not how it works there. So anyway, all right, well, I'm gonna start getting my videos going, and I'm gonna start back over and get reviewed up here.
And while we're at it, while he's getting everything going up and getting reviewed and all that, I'm gonna walk around here a little bit and show you all the wildlife refuge. That's where, pass the time a minute, but shouldn't take but a couple minutes for you, right?
To get started?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
you'll hear me start talking.
I'll give you a glance around, and I'll come back over here, and I'll be right here.
It's a pretty cool place out here, especially if you like to hike. It's a beautiful place out here.
The Lake Woodruff National Refuge, Wildlife Refuge.
Yeah, I grew up out here. It's just inside the St. Johns River, right here in Central Florida, and it's quite a walk. It's a nice nature area. There's always ducks and coots and Martians and wading birds and all
gators,
kinds of stuff. Oh, alligators, yeah, turtles, and you can fish out here. Take a bunch of pictures. There's all kinds of landscape out here to see.
Yeah, different
tree lines and clouds. Clouds were pretty cool earlier. We didn't quite catch them in time, but yeah, it's a pretty good place out here. I recommend a visit.
Yeah. So all right, well, I'll let you get going. I'll show them this place here. We'll flip this thing around. Go ahead, right there. So you can see, like, obviously there's something been going in and out through here. Right, it's probably one of them alligators, but there's a bunch of canals through here that they've cut and made into, like, this is a pool area, and this over here is a pool area, and then you got all this out through there. You got your walking path, and they got benches along the way for all the folks that need to take a minute.
That's right.
Get a little winded, obviously there's to where you can get the ospreys, their birds, to go up there and build nests, so they've got that. But it's actually a really cool place. This is the first time I've ever been out here. Let's see if I can zoom along. Yeah, you can see they got some lily pads up there, right? Let's see, my finger right up there. They got a bunch of lily pads. So first thing I thought of when I saw those is I was like, man, time to come out here and do a little fishing myself. And Blake was talking about him and his buddies used to come out here when they were younger, and all through this canal there's a bunch of bass, and they got a bunch of speckled trout. They got a bunch of those up through there. So anyways, looks like Blake's almost ready to go. I'm gonna get over here and quiet down, and then I'll bring y'all in on his video, and then we can, like I said, if y'all have any questions or comments on it, fill it in, help us fill in the blanks for everybody. Some people are going to be thinking certain ideas, and we need to prepare ourselves for this meeting coming up on the 24th. So we want to know what everybody's thinking. So if we've got, you know, what everybody's thinking, everybody's kind of way of thinking, then we can better serve our purpose of trying to get NOAA on our side. So anyways, all right, well, I'm gonna quiet down.
Slide off to the side here a little bit because I want to leave room right over AJ's head to put all the charts. So when it comes to these red snapper, these people have lost their minds if they think we're at least listening to anything they say and believing anything that comes from their mouth. You have the right to remain silent, and I'm going to tell you right now, anything you say can and will be used against you, I promise. These people, they're taking the information, they're sending out surveys, they're getting more information. Oh, look at you send in, we're catching so many red snapper, there's too many red snapper. Oh no, we're catching too many red snapper and the mortality rates and blah, blah, blah. And oh, we're gonna have to make a closure, so let's get caught. Then you send in a paperwork and go, oh, well, I'm not gonna play your games anymore. Oh, we didn't catch any red snapper. Oh no, there's not enough red snapper. Nobody seems to be catching any. So you have the right to remain silent. Use it before they use it against you. Don't help these people out. That's what your tax dollars do. Your tax dollars are paying for these people. You're already helping them out. Can you be wrong all the time at work and still have a job? Oh, you're helping them out. I promise. They want to take 3 months. They want to take 3 months away from fishing. That's a quarter of a year. How about my boy Mike? He's got a charter right there out of Port Orange. I got a question. If they're closing down his job for 3 months, are they paying his boat payment for 3 months? Are they going to write him a check for 3 months? Are they going to cut his fishing license, commercial fishing license down 25%? Because 3 months is 25% of the year. I want to know. And these hotels, not everybody that stays in the hotels, not everybody, they don't all go fishing. So what are they going to give them, like an extra 10%? What, we just throw more money at it? Let me tell you something. These fish, they don't care how much money you got. They don't care how much money you're throwing at them. They don't eat money. They eat each other. And when there's one too many, or too many of one species, they're going to eliminate other species. I'll show you that right up here, where we have a record abundance of red snapper, and have for years now. And then I'm going to switch it. Sorry, AJ, this was going right over your head too. Look at the grouper. Look at the grouper stuff right here, and the black sea bass. Just let's see. We're going to start closing down red snapper in 2010. All right, great. Let's protect the red snapper. We're doing a great job. We're protecting this red. Hey, wait a minute. Where's all the babies? Where's all the babies on the grouper stuff? You know, the ones that spawn in the winter when the snapper, they spawn in the summer. Well, what's going on? Because we don't have any issues with the mangrove snapper and the vermilion snapper and the red snapper and, you know, these other fish that spawn in the summertime. Well, none of those have a low recruitment. Let's just call them babies. Why you say recruitment? What is this, the Army? Come on, man. I'm talking normal people terms. We're dumb fishermen. We may be dumb, but we know what we see right out there in the ocean. I say out there. It's about 40 miles that way. But we know what we see out there. These people are crazy. Don't ever pay attention to them. I'm going to start posting right over AJ's head. All the people that are in charge of all this, the people you need to contact, and their contact numbers, and y'all need to wear them out. This proposal only goes from Canaveral to the Florida-Georgia line. They know good and well if they'd have closed the whole thing all at once, there would have been a terrible uproar. Well, right now, they only have to deal with about a fifth of the people. But guess what? I promise, if you're not in my zone, they're coming for you, either next or next. Because this is how they always do it. They move that line just a wee little bit, just a wee little bit, just a wee little bit. So we moan and groan and complain, but we don't stand up against them in force. And total numbers. Speaking of which, the proposal, you need to go on there and make comments. You need to take the time right now. I'm going to post that. You need to go on there and you need to make comments about how ridiculous this is. Because if you don't, they don't care. And then, starting next year, December, January, and February, you'll have all the time in the world to moan and groan and complain to your friends, even though you didn't go say anything. Because I can tell you, I just looked it up this morning. This has been out for over a month, and there's only 118 comments. 118 comments. I have personally fished on private boats with more people than that out of Ponce Inlet alone. Every one of them complaining about these red snapper. Y'all better get serious, because they are. They're coming for you. They want to make it. They want to make it to where it is not worth you going out to go fishing and just buy it at the store. Think I'm wrong? Look at it. You can go buy red snapper right now.
What do you think that is? Hold on a second. They can tax it when you buy it.
They can tax it when you buy it. Oh, and gee, I don't know. Maybe the commercial red snapper companies, I don't. Maybe they have some lobbyists gotten together and paying people off. Because I'm going to tell you right now, one of two things is happening. One of two. There can't be more. They have this so screwed up out here. Either they are the most ignorant people you've ever come across in your life, or there's a hidden agenda. They are not just trying to protect fish, I can promise you. Because if they were, they'd be doing a way better job than screwing it all up. It is absolutely ridiculous. You can go buy red snapper. Well, guess what? That's a different red snapper. That's from the Gulf. Really? How about those tags where they tagged it out of Daytona and caught that thing in the Gulf? No, I don't think so. Y'all better get serious. I'm telling you right now. There's a few things they need to do. And I don't even know, AJ, did I even tell you about this one? Here's one for you guys. You ready? Kid you not. They just stopped the flow of $37 million. Your money, my money, your money, our money. $37 million, I'm sorry, $1 million with an M. That was going to go to the WHO, the World Health Organization. And they also stopped 50 million with an M, $50 million from leaving our dollars. Ready? Condoms to Gaza. $50 million. Now you're telling me that we're worried about safe sex in Gaza? I thought we were worried about our fishery. Couldn't we do an artificial reef? Couldn't we build a really nice artificial reef from 70 foot of water to 150 foot of water or whatever? Any of y'all NOAA biologists, any marine biologists, please leave a comment. Let me know. How far out do you feel with your expertise on red snapper? How far out should it go? I say no more than 70 feet toward shore. You know, at least 70 feet deep. Do a 10-foot relief. Do some big stacks. Do some little places, and do some big stacks and some little places. And then set yourselves up some cameras. And that's a complete no fishing zone. Put it right on ground zero. Ground zero, according to NOAA. Ground zero, the 2900 line. 29 degrees latitude. Make that a no fishing zone. Quarter mile south of it, quarter mile north of it. How hard would that be? No fishing zone, research vessels only. No fishing, no diving, no nothing. And then they have a virgin ground. You have plenty of structure on the bigger areas for the fish to live. And then on the smaller, thinner areas, have your cameras set up so that you can watch all the comings and goings. Have completely virgin ground to research. And then compare it to stuff that it isn't. How about an actual bit of research for a change? Listen, y'all just hang around. All y'all marine biologists, you hang around, I'll do your job for you and you can get paid to do it. This is ridiculous. You people have lost your minds. We don't believe you ever again. Endangered red snapper. Yeah, whatever. That's a 5-finger circle jerk if I've ever seen one. Endangered. Are you kidding me? You can't catch anything out there anymore but freaking red snapper. They're more aggressive than the other snapper that are still there. But they're eating all the groupers. Where's all the groupers? Where's the black sea bass? Oh, that's right, 2010. All the recruitment started going downhill with their little jagged peaking and downhill, all the way to now. Clue? I don't know. Is it climate change? Like literally, South Atlantic Council, really? Is it climate change? How about environment change? How about you just screwed up the environment? You made a complete imbalance of everything. And speaking of all y'all South Atlantic Council people, how about this? Your mission statements. Oh, it's an honor to be on the board. Oh, it's a privilege to be on the board. No, wrong. It's a huge responsibility. Maybe get your mind right and none of this would be going on. It's not an honor or a privilege. It is only responsibility. I'm telling you that we've had enough, people. The answer is no. Absolutely not. No. You guys, every time you raise your hand in a vote, whether the vote is yay or nay, you're affecting millions of people. That's an honor? That's a privilege? No. That's a scary responsibility. Get your mindset right. Enough's enough. And by the way, anybody sees this that knows Mr. Chris Kimry, this guy, anybody that knows him, tell him he ought to come over here and watch this. He's talking down to me about, oh, don't just believe what your buddies say. Hearsay. Well, here you go. Here's all your charts. It ain't hearsay no more, is it? You got anything else to say talking down to me? I don't think so. You guys have lost your minds. I can promise you. That's what I have for right now. But I'm going to look at the rest of my stuff and see what else I need to turn this video back on and continue with.
Well, real quick, how about, you said it started in 2010. How long was that projected to be?
Started off 20 years and then it went to 34.
So it would have been 2044. And
it's supposed to be to 2044.
And in, let's just say, let's call it last year. In 14 years, we've got a record number again.
Record number, yes, the record abundance of fish. Now that's not the aged fish. The problem is they're looking for the aged fish. Well, they give us 1 day a year to go catch a fish and they don't put a size limit on it. I guarantee you, if I'm going out there for one fish per person, I'm not going to go catch and keep and be happy with a little 2-year-old fish. I'm going to go get a 20 or 30-year-old fish, 15, 20, 30-year-old fish that's as gigantic as it can be, so that meat will last me a couple meals instead of one.
Grande.
Yeah. You got 34 2-year-old fish equaling the egg production of one 10-year-old fish. Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Yeah, let's let them keep the big ones. Way to go, FWC. 20 inches or greater if you can catch them in state waters. Perfect. Awesome. Let's get rid of those breeders. You know, redfish, black drum, snook, trout. They've all got a slot. Right? Oh, now that would make too much sense. We don't like making sense. We work for the government, and we're here to help you. We're here for you.
Who was it that said that should be the worst
Ronald
words?
Reagan.
Say it. If
Ronald
this would be the
Reagan. We got somebody walking by looking at us. We're sitting here doing some video, and come on by. I'm going off on these government people about all the stupid red snapper stuff.
Okay.
You have a good day, though. You're not a NOAA marine biologist, are you? Perfect. All right. That's good news. Anyway, I'm gonna have to edit that out of mine, I reckon. But anyway, where was I about all these stupid red snapper? Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, they're going on and on about, you know, all this egg production and all this and that, and well, we've got a record abundance of fish. Oh look, but you see the different colors on the scale over here. I'll put it back up here. Record number. Oh, they don't have the aged fish. Okay, well, I can get that because, you know, every year the fish get 1 year older. No problem. Let's protect the older fish. Open it up so we can get rid of all the little stupid ones. We'll get rid of those. We'll thin out the herd. We'll make it to where there's actually something for the big ones to forage for. You know, the little fish, they're busy growing. Is anybody out here ever raised a preteen and then teenager and then adult, been around adults? Who eats the most? That would be about them teenagers where they're growing up and turning into women and men, right? Well, what do you think? What do you think the fishing world's like? Same thing. Same thing. Them little ones, they got to grow. Well, they got to burn energy to catch fish and eat them. Well, then they got to eat more so they can grow too. And it's just a vicious cycle. And there goes their grouper. Oh, there goes the black sea bass. Anybody ever swim around black sea bass or catch black sea bass? They aren't exactly super fast fish. That red snapper has a whole lot of more power than that pretty black sea bass. And guess what? I don't know if any of you guys have ever eaten black sea bass, but they're delicious. And I guarantee the red snapper thinks so too. So how about we pull our heads out of where they're not supposed to be from each other and start realizing really what's going on. Either very, very dumb or a very, very hidden agenda. It can't be anything else at this point. It just can't. There's no way possible that it could be anything else. So I'll probably be back on here in just a minute with a little bit more. But you guys bear with me while I look at stuff. So anyway,
yeah.
Ask me how I really feel.
Yeah, I reckon he got a little bit of frustration out of that.
How are you folks today?
Good. How are you doing?
How's it
We're
going?
doing great. We're doing some stuff for YouTubing.
Oh,
It is a beautiful day.
isn't it? For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, they might not want to be on video, so we're not going to put them on video. But everybody walking by out here is always in such a great mood. Everybody's so friendly out here. Have you noticed that?
That's true. Yeah, because you're out in nature and it's a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
There's no phone ring.
We're not at work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
Have a good one.
And
You
it's
too.
not too hot yet.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Exactly.
Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, the folks out here are always wonderful. It's normally it's either older folks or a group of people that are out here having a good time and just getting away from everything. You don't hear any cars where we're at. You don't hear any cars. I can promise you. Why don't you stand up and do a quick little spin around there?
The only thing I've heard is the wind blowing through all of this.
Cattails.
The cattails. And you can see it. I mean, it's just, I'm sure it's pixelating a little bit as I'm spinning, but I mean, you can see it. It's all around. You can see way back there, all that far tree line. This is all just cattails for as far as we can see, all the way to that. So there's a little bit of wood line that's, let me spin on back around. There's a little bit over here behind us, back over here, up quite a little bit of ways. But I mean, it's just beautiful out here.
And then if you look at those over there, all that tree line over there that you're looking at right now, that was once what was called Jones Island. And the reason that was called Jones Island was because there was a creek that went around the back side of it. And then over here on this side toward the tower, if you can see the tower right over here, right over.
Where the heck's that?
Is that it right there?
Maybe. Where's them two trees? Oh no, it's back over this way. There's the two trees, so it'd be right over like here.
Yeah. So there's a tower right there. Back over that way, that's toward Leon Springs, and that used to flow out this way, come out here into Lake Woodruff, and this was all part of Lake Woodruff back in here. And what they did was they diked it off and dug little pools and ponds and made it to where the birds would have a little bit more of a wintering ground and stuff, which really messed up the lake over there. But you know, it was the government, the Army Corps of Engineers, you know, all these marine biologists. We're here to help. We're here to help.
We need to find that soundbite. We need to find that with
The
Ronald
Reagan
Reagan
one?
saying
Oh, yeah, the
the
Reagan
7
one, yeah.
worst words you should be afraid of
We're from
is
the
government.
We're here to help.
We're from the government. We're here to help.
Is it 7 or 9?
Whatever it
We're
is.
from the government and we're here to help. I missed something.
Well,
Anyway,
either
yeah.
way, we need to get that and get it into your other video.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's something else. I can't believe it. And seriously, you have the right to remain silent when it comes to giving them any information. Don't tell them anything. They will use it against you. I promise. They've been doing it. That's where they're at now. And it's just.
Where do you think the FWC's information goes to? Do you think that's just FWC information?
Oh no.
You know, like when you come in and
They're all government. They all
Okay,
give
so you
each
think
other
they all
that
share?
information.
Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
so
For sure.
every time we come in and the FWC lady's there doing the surveys, every time we come in and she says, well, what'd you catch today? I said 9 million red snapper. Every time. There's a ton of red snapper we catch. And she, you know, the one time I said it, she laughed. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, we're not kidding. Like every single time we drop down, it was nothing but red snapper. It's all we caught all day long. And we came in empty-handed because
You can't get past them. They're so aggressive and there's so many.
Yep.
But then they use that against you and they're like, oh, man, the mortality rate, it's terrible. I was going to talk about the descending device on the other one too, and I will go back and put that in from the house. I'll be like, oh, don't pay attention to the background. I'm still in the same spot. But
well, we can have it now.
yeah, I can, but I'm not too worried about it, honestly. I don't think people really care about that. I just want to get this information out.
Right.
But what were we saying?
The descending device.
Oh, the descending device. The descending device, when they first came out with that little law and said, oh, yeah, you know, you're going to have this on the boat. Now you have to buy something else to go fishing. I was pretty mad.
And you have to carry another rod because you have to have it rigged on a rod.
Rigged on a rod and ready so that you can descend the fish. And at first I was very upset about that. And I'm like, what kind of overreach is that? But I will say, and I do apologize, when they're right, they're right. The descending device is awesome. First of all, when you put that on that descending device and you put it on their mouth, it holds their mouth open and it's weighted and it drags them back down to the bottom. Well, that moves air. You know, they've been fighting on the way up, so they've been struggling. And if you want to run down to the end of the block and back as fast as you can, as hard as you can, and then hold your breath, because that's exactly what we're doing to these fish. I'm not kidding. Think about it. That's what we're doing to these fish.
Part of barotrauma, right?
And well, it's not really. The barotrauma is just a change of the atmospheres, and it could have something to do with some of that. But it's basically, that sounded more like a fish, didn't it?
That's not like a big one.
That sounded like a big fish. Oh no, that was the birds. That was one after the other one.
Mm.
But anyway, so like you run to the end of the block and back, it's the same thing, and then you hold your breath. So we're struggling. These fish are struggling to save. They don't know what's going on, and they got their hard as they can fighting, trying to stay down where they live. Well, you get them up there in the boat, out of the water, and now they can't breathe. And that's the same as you holding your breath after you run back and forth. So the faster you can get them on that descending device, drop them back down to the bottom, that holds their mouth open, runs the water in their mouth, out their gills, and re-aerates them. And then they don't have to use the energy to get back down that they've already spent coming up. So that helps reoxygenate them and gives them a blast of oxygen, and then it takes them right back down to the bottom. So that's the first thing. The second thing is they don't have to kick and struggle to get back down to the bottom, because that kick and struggle on the way up has attracted predators. I promise it's attracted them. Maybe they didn't catch it, but it's attracted other predators: sharks, Goliath grouper, kingfish, wahoo, porpoise dolphin. Not mahi dolphin, could be, but porpoise, all that type of stuff. So any of the other predators out there, they pick up on all that. Those lateral lines are amazing. It's really quite the thing, just how they live. Rough world. But when you send them back down, they don't have to kick. It just takes them right back down. So as it's taking them back down, they're not having to struggle to get back down. And
What about the research?
It's not really attracting. Yeah, I was going to get to
Okay.
that. It's not really like attracting any more predators. And I was actually telling the NOAA folks that, and I did apologize to them, because I like I said, I've been talking to them, and I apologize because I do think I think they're a great idea. I think if you're not using it, I think you really should, seriously. I do not like these people and what they're standing for, what they're trying to do to us, but I do think the descending device for bottom fish, I think it's an amazing tool. But it took me years to come to that conclusion, because all the time that I've actually been doing it, I've not once lost a single fish to a predator that I could tell going down. I mean, you'd be able to tell. And they actually, I talked to some folks over that did I'll say, sir, a research survey thing or whatever they did. They actually went out and over a period of time, and they actually released right at 1,000 fish, 987, I believe, Mississippi State, 987 fish, and 3 got eaten on the way down.
And they knew that because they had the cameras on the...
They had cameras on the line above the descending device and the fish, and so they were like filming on the way down and got it all the way back down to the bottom. And only 3 right out of 1,000 fish got eaten on the way down. So that's a pretty good rate for success. I mean,
so the descending device works.
the descending device, it absolutely works. It's a fantastic tool. Like I said, I hated it at first because, oh, you're just making me buy something else. I wonder who's related to somebody who invented the descending device. But it is, I don't care at this point who invented it, and if they're related, and that's how it come around. It is actually a very good tool. So definitely use those. Definitely use them. I like them. Okay, do we have any comments down here? Oh, Audrey.
Yeah.
Telling everybody it's your birthday. It's
Yeah.
his birthday.
40
Hey,
years
happy
old.
Birthday.
I got that gray
Yep.
coming on in.
What'd you get for your 40th birthday? Gray.
Gray. Well, I got that from my ex-wife, but that's...
Island, yes.
Thank you, Ashley.
Fits. Does AJ call me Gilligan? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I think you need to name your boat Gilligan. Gilligan's Island. That'd be great. Anyway, yeah. So we really do. We really need to let these people know. We've got to tell them. And again, if you don't take the time right now, you'll have 3 months starting next year for the rest of your years. December, January, and February. A quarter of the year.
No bottom fishing.
No bottom fishing. Nope. No bottom fishing. No. No, we don't care that you spent so much money on a boat. No. We don't care that you don't. Oh no, you just go buy your fish from the store. And then they'll say,
Oh,
oh,
wait.
it's working great. Let's add a month. We need to add a month because it's working great.
What about all the people that come down from up north that, like, we call them snowbirds, but
Yeah.
what about all those people? When are they here?
Yeah.
They're
In the
here
wintertime. Go the other way.
Yeah. Well, anyways. Yeah, so we got that all the whole time. So we've got the snowbirds. Those are going to be the people that come down from up north, and that's going to be the months that the bottom fishing is going. For those 3 months of December, January, February, we're going to have all those people down here that there's a lot of them that they've retired. They've got nice condominiums over there right on Ponce Inlet, right all along all the whole river, and they go right up to their boat and they go out and go fishing all summer long, or all winter long, because down here it's not that cold. And then they don't want to be here in summer, so I mean, I guess it would save us fish, but we're already overpopulated with red snapper, so it's all we're going to be catching soon is just red snapper. That's already we do, but it's hard to catch anything else. And now anybody that's in here now, we've been out trolling back, what was that, 2 months ago? October,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
In
2 or 3
October.
months ago.
In October, we were out and we were trolling, and we were trolling at like 7.5 mile an hour, 8 mile an hour, something like that.
7 knots. Yep.
7 knots. So we're cruising along, and all we got was in that time, all we got was some red snapper. We got a dolphin that day, but
Shook a wahoo loose and caught some kings.
Yeah. But we lost a wahoo. I think we lost a big dolphin as well in there, because we had 2 of them that we hooked up and they got loose.
Yeah.
But anyways, as we're cruising along, within 20 minutes of each other, 10 minutes of each other,
10 minutes, yeah.
separate areas, not even over the same number. I think they were what did we say nautical miles apart? Those two.
They weren't that far apart because we had made a
Yeah.
made a circle. They were probably, I think realistically they were probably half a mile.
Okay, so half a mile apart, and we get 2 red snapper. one hits. We keep going along, make a little bit of a loop.
It wasn't
half
a
a
baby
mile
either.
Half a mile away. No, it wasn't. It
30
was
inches long.
yeah,
30 inches.
yeah. And then so then we have that. We're trying to put it back out. We're put our baits back out, and who knows what else got missed in that time. But of having that one line out of the water, which what we were fishing for with skirted ballyhoo was wahoo, dolphin, stuff like that.
Kingfish, yeah.
Kingfish. And we didn't end up getting those. We ended up with red snapper, and it's just ridiculous. So anyways, let me end this phone call coming in real quick.
She should have been watching the live, not
Yeah.
calling you.
Maybe he was. Never know.
Well, yeah.
But anyways, we're gonna get on. Blake's gonna do a little bit more of his looking over his stuff, and that way he can we can finish out his video, because we're out here at the wildlife refuge. And if there's anything y'all have been watching, if there's anything y'all are seeing and we miss, say, because we're going through it, we've seen all the information for like the past 6 months we've been going over it. So there's a lot of stuff that may need little holes filled in and Swiss cheese. You know what I mean?
So I do want to say, normally when you go offshore fishing, you fish with the same people. Very seldom, unless you're a charter captain, very seldom do you fish with different people, right? So apples to apples. Back to the whole spawning thing with the 2-year and the 10-year. 34 2-year-old fish, right? So 16, if we had a size limit all year long that were one fish per person between 16 and 20 inches, right? That's roughly a 2-year-old fish. And you got to put back the bigger ones on a descending device. You got to use the descending device. It's definitely worth it. But if we were allowed to keep one fish per trip, right? One fish per trip between 16 and 20 inches. And you give me 1 day a year, that means if you're looking for the spawning, I can go 34 times in a year. 34 times in a year. And still leave that 1 day that you've been giving me to take the one. I'll guarantee you the ones I'm catching are over 10 years old. I'm just saying. I mean, you tell me where that makes sense. Now I'm getting rid of all those little mouths that are eating the forage that the big ones would possibly, feed on and have a healthier population. It's just the science it's not there. I mean, if they want to rely on science, how about that science of mathematics, man? I just don't get it. I'd have to go 34 times. I go quite often. And I don't go bottom fishing 34 times a year. So you already win not giving me the 1 day where I can keep one that's 20 years old. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. These people, again, either the dumbest people that you could find to do this, or there's a hidden agenda somewhere of keeping you off the water somehow for some whatever reason and just having you just go buy your fish from the store. So, I mean, there can't be anything. It's either hidden agenda or dumbest people you could find to hire. I don't know.
Because we thought about this a little while back when we were actually doing the video. What was it that we said? What was it we said? We said, what was another main reason why you think that they're going to make us buy the fish that we want? Why is that? Because they can tax it if you buy it.
Yeah.
They taxing us going out fishing and all that, and we have fuel and all that, but now they're getting a whole nother avenue of taxing us. And that's what it really, I think it boils down to. That's something that we thought of when we were doing the video earlier. Like, we went to it and we're like, holy crap, that's something we haven't thought about in all this time. That's probably another reason.
Yeah, fish, they might run in schools, but none of them can count, man. And they don't care how much money you throw at them. They don't. They really don't. It's ridiculous. These people, they're throwing money left and right, doing this, doing that. And they got to stop, man. They got to just do the right thing. And the right thing is open it up with a slot size. Guess what? If I can go out there and catch one and keep one, they're not a big deal anymore, are they? They're just not a big deal. If you can go out there and catch them and you keep it, well, guess what? Hey, I got fish in the cooler. Right on.
Hey, what about...
it's crazy.
What about the fact that we've never really had red snapper in the river, in the intercoastal waterway? And we had multiple instances in the past year.
Yeah, they've had several red snapper caught in the intracoastal. I mean, those are a clean water bottom fish. Those aren't, I don't know how, if you're not familiar with the Daytona waters, we're far enough away from the Gulf Stream. We're not like Palm Beach or the Keys and that beautiful crystal clear water they have right up against the banks. We're not like that. We have fresh water that moves into at our waters and from brackish waters and all kinds of stuff. And you got, you know, Tomoka Creek, you got Spruce Creek, you've got all these different creeks running up and down that come in, and different marshes and different things. So our waters, it's a little dingy. It's clean water, but it's richer water with sediment and stuff, and it's just not a clean water. But they're catching them in there, and it's the darndest thing, man.
Yeah.
I just don't even know what to say about it other than what we have.
You know, and then the other thing, like we're catching mutton snapper in there too, like smaller mutton snappers. Last year we started early in the year, and I think into the year before that, in 23, we started finding them too. And it's because probably the red snapper, they're so overpopulated that they're chasing them out and they're trying to survive, so they're heading in. And then those red snapper are coming in to be aggressive inshore now.
Because they've eaten all the forage out there.
Yeah.
I used to go out there with sabiki rigs and catch sardines and cigar minnows right there on the reefs, and then drop them down for fishing. And they're a thing of the past. You don't even see them anymore. They're not around ever, anywhere. They're gone.
Yeah. So we just went off. October was the last time we went off. So and we had, like I said, that day we caught those 2 red snapper on the troll at 7 knots. That's ridiculous. And we're not the only ones that have done that. We had the guy who runs the Mahi Championship. He posted a video. His name's Callahan Hood. He posted a video of it, of them guys. They were out and they had same thing. They ended up with catching a red snapper on the troll. And they had, I want to say that what they were pulling was a bigger bait than what we were even pulling.
They were pulling high speeds. Now, I don't know if they were high speeding at the time it hit, but they were pulling great big old high speed lures for wahoo. So, and without a ballyhoo on it. This was just a lure. There was no fish scent to it. It's more of a, you troll it like 15 knots or better just to get a reaction strike from the wahoo.
And they got a reaction strike, from a red snapper.
It's crazy.
And why are they up off the bottom, you think?
Looking for something to feed on. It's insane.
Yeah.
You want to start walking back while you?
Yeah, let's do that.
You can flip it around and show the scenery and stuff while we're walking. We'll still be talking.
I'll do that. Hopefully that gator will still be out up there all that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna say we should have called Mike D and had him join in with us. See if I could have sent him an invite, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But we've got out here the Lake Woodruff National Wildlife Refuge, and you can fish out here. And I plan to come down here now that I've seen a little bit of stuff here. I plan to come down here and at least throw some lines, maybe pull some bobbers out here and just get some minnows and just see what we can find. So Blake used to fish out here with a couple of his buddies when they were kids, and he was telling me all about the whole area, and he was telling me about all what this has become, what it used to be, like how it used to be. And I mean, I don't know, what do you say, that's probably a half a mile to the
That's closer to a mile.
you think a mile back to the wood line?
Yeah.
So a mile back to the wood line, and this is all, I mean, it's got some canals here and all, but you don't have the moving water like you just did. I saw the biggest rattlesnake I've ever seen out there. Audrey. Oh, really? Good catfish in there, Jeff says. Yeah, so we've got plenty of wildlife here. Wonder what's been sliding through there. We're gonna look on the sign when we come out.
Too much doubt what was sliding through there.
We're gonna look on the way out and see if we can have kayaks or anything out here. I saw the sign on the way in that said something about you could fish, but I didn't see if it said anything about if you could bring a boat, bring a kayak, bring a inflatable island, which we may have. So that 10 by 10 island would float through there, no problem. Yeah, that'd be nice. Trying to get it out here would be a pain.
Wading bird hanging out in the tree right there.
Let's see if I can zoom in on that sucker. Sorry for the shakiness, folks. I had coffee earlier.
Cuban roast.
The Cuban roast. That Wawa Cuban roast. Get you going. You can see there's plenty of tracks of wildlife. You can see all the birds.
Scat.
Oh yeah, we found plenty of scat along this trail.
What do you think it is? 25 feet wide across there? Maybe 30?
Yeah, I'd say 30.
So there's plenty of room. You got plenty of room out here to make sure that you're not stepping on anything. They keep the top of it mowed down pretty good with the grass.
Yeah.
Closer to the edges, they don't do it quite so much, but they do keep it down so everybody can walk out here safely. You can see any snakes or whatever that might be on the dike up here.
You can see way out there. Well, let's see. We can zoom way out there. Let me stop for a second, see if you see them folks right up there. There's always people around, and we had a couple of the people that were out here that were wandering around, that were walking. You know, they stopped, they had conversations with us. They were nice people. Everybody, Blake said he's never been out here and had people that were, you know, nasty or whatever.
Yeah, everybody's super nice out here. They're just out here relaxing and just enjoying. And it's normally older people that they just, you know, they're just out to enjoy the atmosphere and clean air, the day.
Yeah. I can't remember what the specifics of it is, but there was a thing I saw on I don't know, Instagram or one of the reels I was scrolling through, and it said the most relaxing thing for a person to be able to do is, you know, get in touch with nature and walking by water. Walking by water is what they said was like one of the top things for people for relaxation. So I mean, you're doing that here. You got the water all around. Back there you got that little tower. You can see it. Let's see. You can see it back there. That's where they can get some birds out there to nest. Can you take dogs out there on a leash?
Nope.
Nope. No pets. We saw the sign. No pets. The website says swimming, wading, and snorkeling are prohibited.
Well, yeah. That's probably because of the 12-foot alligators. I'm just saying.
But does it say anything about boats in there, Audrey? Can you put a kayak in? I know it says swimming, wading, snorkeling are prohibited.
Yeah, so when I was a kid out here, we used to have a canoe that we'd drag down through here and then
What would you see over there?
down through here.
Something's hitting the top of water. Oh, it's one of them birds. See it over there across the way. Good.
But yeah, we used to run a canoe down in through here, and nobody ever said anything that worked here, but we were out here all the time and knew the guys too, so I'm not sure.
And that was what, 30, 40 years ago?
Thanks, yeah, it was a while ago. I'm 53, and I was like 15 to 17 when we were doing that, so it's been a minute.
38 years, almost as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, thanks, it's been a minute. But yeah, we used to know the guys that ran the place. They had us doing stuff out here back and forth, and we'd let people, you know, we'd let them know about people that were, if we ever saw people that were doing stuff out here weren't supposed to be doing or whatever. We were little snitches. And you know, they say snitches wind up in ditches. Well, we did, because we were right out there fishing in it.
Oh wait, is this that spot? Yeah, well you can see another spot right here. There's a worn path.
There's one.
There's a worn path. You can see something's been going in and out of there. Cruising through.
Look
Oh yeah.
behind you.
Oh yeah, you can see they've been scooting across.
And there's scat on the ground.
And they're scat on the ground. Oh yeah. Signs of life there.
Yep, it's a nice place out here for sure.
Lake Woodruff National Wildlife Refuge. Public access use or recreational activities not specifically allowed are prohibited. But again, it doesn't say either way. It doesn't say you can, it doesn't say you can't put a boat in.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not,
we're not
maybe
going to say you can't, but we're not going to say you can't just in case we want to tell you you can't.
Blake, you want to touch that?
Oh, me no. No, I'm good, thanks.
Hands swell up,
Yeah.
burn like hell.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. They reserve the right to use it when they want, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess if they say no and somebody's out here and they see fit,
Well, yeah, so
government.
Yeah, so the problem is right now they don't have it opened up all the way down to the end of the parking lot. We actually had to park halfway down the drive and then walk down to the refuge part itself. I mean, I say the refuge part, this marsh area. The wildlife refuge itself is humongous. It goes all the way out to Highway 44 from here,
Which is probably 6 miles.
I'd say.
Yeah.
And then over to the river, and actually a couple spots, I think there's a couple spots that actually cross the river.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty big area. I'm not sure exactly how big, but how many acres it is, but it's big.
And you got these nice walkways, roadways all the way around. When we got here this morning, right over there, they had way over there at that tree line, they had a dump truck running and they had a dozer running. So we don't know what they were doing. We didn't go over there to check it out because we were trying to get a nice area so we had a nice clean background of noise, be one with nature, so that way we could get y'all in here and be like, hey, let's go see NOAA, let's talk about red snapper closure. And I know this is constantly people turning in and out, coming in and out here, but the main focus of this video, if you go back and watch, was to be able to watch, and we need to get our comments made, we need to get our voices heard. The NOAA, which is the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association, they're making all these rules. They're trying to shut down fishing from December all the way through to the end of February.
3 months.
3 months.
A quarter of the year. Quarter of the year.
They're trying to shut down our bottom fishing period, and they're trying to still save the red snapper. They're trying to figure out what to do with the epidemic that they've caused because of not letting us fish it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know. They have to have some hidden agenda. I mean, they've got to. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah, they're not bright enough. There's another nice little
Now,
trail in there.
what kind of leftover is that?
Well,
I think that
hey,
that was
somebody said something about white dog turds the other day. You never see white dog turds anymore. Why is that? It's probably the food they're eating. Well, it's probably because these guys are eating natural stuff out here.
Yep.
White dog turds. They ain't dogs.
That's dog.
That might be.
Ain't supposed to be dog. It could be coyote, I guess.
I was about to say it could be coyote, and they're eating natural. So now you got white dog turds.
That's right. Where's the stepbrothers when you need them?
Yeah, I got a belly full of white dog crap.
Lick it.
But we're you can see this thing. It stretches way out. Stretches way out and around.
How y'all doing?
Like we showed along the way, you got some benches, like right up here. Jeff's laughing. I'm sitting here with a belly full of white dog turds.
That's right.
And you're coming to hit me like this.
Show Jeff the spec spot.
Oh, dude, let me just show you. Let's look in here and see. Still got the same situation as earlier. Look at all these guys. Look at all these guys in here. See the, I'm gonna thump this so you can see them move. We can come get our own little baits here, and then we can reach right out here in through these pads. We can toss out past it. So you can see there's plenty of, I mean, it's pretty clear water here.
Hey Jeffrey, you can catch your own shiners right here. You can bring one of them spec rods, dip it down with a shiner hook and some doughed up bread ball, catch your own shiners in here, and then just flip them out to the other side and let bass eat them.
You flick them out to the outside.
The old circle of life going on right here, and hardly have to leave the bench.
Right? That cuts across over here, but there's this bench right here too, so you can put your tackle bag up there, And then you can walk out, let's see, you'll watch for critters, snakes, slither critters. But obviously we got plenty of room here. You can see, look at that, all that vegetation in there. This thing, it's got a hold. Would you said this used to be all speck spot and bass?
Yeah. Yep. We used to catch a lot of specks and bass.
You can see there's a palmetto, palm frond down there, just sunk in, getting blown in off the old palm tree here. But we need to come out here and do us a little fishing. The main focus of this video for everybody that's in here, we got to get our voices heard. The comments that need to be made so that NOAA hears from us, because what they're doing, the overreach that they're doing, it's absolutely wild. You know, they've made a problem and they don't know how to fix it, so it's literally like you're just painting a wall after you know the paint's coming off. They're just repainting right over it. They're compounding the issues. They're compounding the problems. So we got to get with National Oceanic Atmospheric Association. There's meetings on the 24th in Jacksonville. That's the one we'll be going to. And the 25th in Cocoa Beach. So those are the ones that we may attend both. We may just attend one. Just depends on if we get our voices heard at the first one, if we need to bounce to the second one. But you know, we're trying to advocate for ourselves. Blake's got grandkids, I've got nieces. We're trying to make sure that everybody can go fishing, and then we're actually going to have a fishery, because right now we can't find black sea bass. I mean, you do, but they're very small. They're inshore. They're near shore. You're not finding like
you can find them in the river too, but you're not getting the keepers or anything worth even talking about offshore. I used to have several good black sea bass spots. You could roll up there and back in the day, you could catch your 10. Then you could catch your 5 when they slowed us down on that. And now you go out there and it's just desolate.
Yeah.
There's nothing there but a few red snapper.
Yeah. Because they've literally eat out of house and home. And, you know, red snapper, they're all right. They ain't nothing special when you eat them, you know what I mean? But I can tell you right now, I'd rather have black sea bass. I'd rather have some triggerfish. I'd rather have some other stuff over top of that. There's a nice little draggle trail. But we're just out here in the wildlife refuge because we were trying to get a background here to make this video.
This is another place the government screwed up for us.
Yeah.
Yep. Back in the 50s, they were like, man, I got a great idea. Let's screw it up.
It's government.
That's a great idea, Bob. Thanks, Frank. Where's my government check?
We need to change those names to Neil and Bob.
Yeah. Yeah, but then they can get arrested for prostitution.
Well, that's because they suck.
Ah, I like it.
Neil and Bob.
That's a lick white dog turd.
That's still wild to me. All right, hold up. This is a little bit different. You got the grass here, right? You got it all across here, and there's a little bit of woods. There is a nice little half-mile loop through there. So I wouldn't mind coming out here again and checking some of this out. But
I will tell you, where we were with all the sawgrass back up there, where all the sawgrass was back in the day. I mean, I'm sorry, cattails. It used to be all sawgrass field out here, every bit of it. And it's all about 3 feet deep of muck where they screwed it up. This used to be part of Lake Woodruff. And they diked it off and built it up and made their little pools. They screwed up the Leon Springs, Spring Garden Lake. They screwed it up. Guess what they call it now? Mud Lake. It ain't Spring Garden Lake anymore. It used to be 3, 4, or 5 foot deep, sandy shell bottom, all flushed out from past the springs out this way through Lake Woodruff. Now it's 6 inches deep and just muck. You jump in there, you just sink. Be gone. Because everything's sitting out there that's not getting flushed out. It dies off every year. on those dollar pads, and then it just settles right down to the bottom, makes another layer, another layer, another layer. But hey, what a great job, government. Let's screw with Mother Nature. She don't know better. She hasn't been doing this long enough, huh? Nah,
You know,
we'll fix it.
I seem to think there's an ongoing theme here. The government gets involved and everything gets screwed up.
Ah, no way. Can't be.
They know best. They know best.
No best.
Where was that gator? Oh, that gator was up there in that next
Yeah,
pool.
he was on
Up there.
Yep. Way up front, making sure. Probably sitting there with his clicker, counting people coming in and going out, and see if anybody got stuck behind, so we can get them later.
You want to tell a story about what you said, David, one time
No.
untying his shoe?
Yeah. No. No, because they were protected then too.
You can leave you can leave that part out.
You have the right to remain silent.
Just remember, you only have to run faster than the other person if you're out here.
That's right. Take somebody slower and fatter than you. That way, if anything comes up to attack, you're safe. You don't have to outrun the critters. Just whoever's with you.
Unless it's a pack of coyotes, and then
No, they'll stop on one, I do believe.
you think?
Oh yeah, they're pack hunters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I think you're good.
then it still works.
If they don't have to work as hard for that meal, they ain't gonna come after yours. Yep. You don't have to outrun the critter, just whoever you're with.
Obviously, this is nice and high. This dike that we're walking on right now, but you can see that falls off pretty good, and it held some water during the hurricanes. You can see there's some water lines on the trees. It's about 2 foot deep right there on that tree. Yeah, you can see it on that one specifically. Yeah, right there. Here, let me. Yeah, you can see that there. So, but there's plenty of nature up here to check out.
Birds chirping everywhere. Environmentalists using the bitches to satisfy themselves, looking at nature.
Yeah.
I mean, their minds.
Yeah.
Satisfy their minds.
Yeah.
Joe. Here comes some folks walking. AJ's been pretty good about not getting people up too close on his videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people don't really like that.
Yeah. People freak out.
Yep.
Oh, look at there. Hold on. Zoom in on this guy here.
On the bird on the pad?
Yep, hanging out. Where's that gator at?
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 of them there.
Yeah.
Yep, just walking across the pads. Oh, to be that light of weight.
That used to all be wide open right there in that canal.
Now it's overgrown with
About 130
lilies.
years ago when I was a kid out here.
130 years.
Look, more white.
Oh yeah.
Here you go, Jeffrey.
There you go.
Okay.
I just want y'all to know I'm winded and I'm not even there. Step brothers. I got a belly full of white dog crap. Oh, that's so weird though. I just saw that video the other day saying that somebody was saying like, you never see white dog poop anymore. You never see white dog turds anymore. Well, you do when you're out in nature. When they're eating natural stuff.
Everything. Lots of coots, a couple alligators.
So you can see there's been some tracks through here from that dozer. And we're like, wonder why he drove off into here. You know what I mean? Like we can see there's both tracks. There's one, there's the other. And I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm like, ha, that joker. He got out, stood on that track right there, and he was fishing. Guaranteed. That's the only way or reason he should have been over there. Thank God that's the only thing that's swampy today.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice and cool. What is it, about 70?
Yeah, I'd say probably 70, 72.
Yep. All right, Hammock Nature Trail. Let me zoom in on that sign there. Hammock Nature Trail, half a mile. It's a loop through there.
Through the hammock.
Yep. And you see it's worn down a little bit, but
Pretty hammocky.
oh yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of critters in there. We got the, oh, there is a track over there.
See, those are the folks that walked by us before we were even filming.
Oh, that's, oh yeah.
And all they did was make that loop.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
This is big out here.
Yeah, it's big. And that's just this part.
What? I just want y'all to know when they're not even there. He was texting and driving. What are you talking about? Was you texting and driving, Jeff? I can tell you now, I should have wore some socks. These boots have been rubbing on the tops of my little toes. Just right.
These boots aren't made for walking.
These boots are definitely not made for walking. Well, fishing boots. The dozer guy was texting and driving. That's what he was saying.
Oh.
There you go. Here you go.
Looks like he was doing it here too.
Get on out of there. Yep. I've been cutting back a little bit. Where's that gator?
I don't know. I'm looking. We'll see him. He's somewhere right up here.
Mm-hmm. You got some opening over here too.
So that whole tree line used to be one lake.
All around there.
That was Lake Woodruff originally.
Wow.
Hey, nice dumper. Turn around and look. Nice dumper.
The old dump truck.
So there's that, whatever the heck that is.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out this earlier. I don't know if that's like a thing of mud or a root or whatever. There's even a bird upside down dead in the water. Who knows? U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services.
What are they doing out here on a Saturday? Fixing things, I'm sure.
Tearing up the tax dollars.
I just jumped a leopard frog.
A leopard frog?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. The ones with the legs you like to eat. He wasn't big enough though.
Huh.
That alligator was somewhere.
Right up here.
Sitting out here hiding in the bushes.
Another culvert to cross over to this side.
There's a little female too. See the little brown one?
Yeah. That's a female?
Yeah.
No, the males are the ones with the red on their head?
Yeah. She don't have to be all pretty. He wants it anyway. But ask her, she's a 10.
Let's see. They're right around here somewhere. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, I'm already wearing through. Damn. Yep, wearing through skin right there. And right there. My old ugly feet. I'm gonna give this a minute. Should have wore some socks. You know, I'm walking barefoot and I just hope that I'm paying attention and I don't step in any scat.
There he is.
Oh yeah. Let's see if we can get us a good get us a good view of this thing here. See that guy over there in the bushes?
Point toward the birds.
Waiting for the...
No way he's waiting for them to get close.
No way. Let's see if I can get over here a little bit tighter of an angle this way. I can barely make out snout over there. Right there. That guy just hanging out. He's been literally laying there ever since we got here. And we've been here for 2.5 hours?
Something like that.
Something like that. Here, I'll take my boots back. I'm gonna have to put these back on when we get back to concrete, but for now I'm grounding out with nature.
And I don't know which is which because I really don't give a hoot. Wiki wiki.
Well, we're coming down to it here. We'll show you this sign and then we're gonna call it a day. See how many folks we've interacted with when we finish the video here.
Don't Jimmy toe on that root.
Oh yeah.
Be a bad way to end it.
No doubt.
Or not.
Entertaining, right?
Watch me trip and fall.
Sound like Homer Simpson. Don't!
That's right.
All right. Let's see here. Wildlife Refuge. Oh, it shows over there to Jones Island. Shows Spring Garden Lake, which is now Mud Lake. Wow. Pontoon Landing. Where'd we walk to? We're here. We walked literally, holy moly.
We walked right here.
Right there or down, one down?
Do what? So, oh yeah, right here.
Yeah, we were right there.
Yeah, this is where Mike Reed's bench is.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here now. We walked to right there.
Holy moly.
That was all we walked.
This place is huge then.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
These folks coming right now behind us, they went all the way around here.
Yeah. Made the loop.
They came in behind us right here.
Right.
And then here's that little half-mile circle.
Right.
Hammock nature walk right here.
Okay, so you can imagine that that's a half a mile. That's easily a mile.
You guys are going right back where you came from.
We did a big loop all the way around.
Yeah. Yeah, you're headed back to the same loop now.
You can see here, we were hanging out by pool 3 here.
Cars out that way. They have a different one over this way now?
Yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay. They didn't used to have that. I used to come out here when I was a kid. I haven't been out here in years. They've changed quite a bit of change out here. Yeah. Yeah. It's a nice place. Yeah.
A lot of these wetland places used to go.
Yeah. This particular one, this out used to actually, this tree line right here.
Yeah.
This tree line used to be all Lake Woodruff back in the 50s before they started this. And Spring Garden Lake, it used to actually go from Leon Springs.
Refuge was established in 1963 to serve as a sanctuary for migratory birds and to conserve fish, wildlife, plants, and the benefit of the American people. Huh. Lake Woodruff Natural Wildlife provides habitat for migratory birds, threatened and endangered species, and a host of other native Florida wildlife. Located near historic DeLeon Springs, the refuge is named for Major Joseph Woodruff, who bought 2,020 acres of DeLeon Springs property in 1823. Okay.
On the back side now. It used to come out this way and keep the whole bottom side of the whole bottom side of the lake here used to flush out through here. So right here's the Leon Springs, and here's the run that you're talking about.
Yeah,
it goes out to
right.
Lake Woodruff now. It
Right.
used to. It came down here
Oh, and then
and down to where we're at, and it came over. And this was all this was all part of Jones Island. And that's why it was Jones Island.
right.
And but once they diked all this up, then the water had to run out this way. So it stays okay there, But all this part of the lake down here, it all just filled in with mud.
Yeah.
And they,
But they just made this for a refuge.
they
for
yeah,
wildlife and
yeah, that's all.
birds
That's what they did, was they made it for a bird sanctuary for
and the alligators.
yeah,
And lots of sand cranes we saw.
yeah.
Yeah. Saw a lot
Lots
of
of
sand cranes,
alligators,
saw a lot of
yeah.
alligators.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
and a lot of times you come out here at different times, you see a lot more birds.
Oh yeah.
You don't really see that many right now.
Yeah. Yeah. It warmed up. They're out doing their own thing now.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
All right. You guys have a good day.
All right, well, we're going to end it off here. So go back, check it out. Go over, check out Dull Hooks and Dumb Luck Fishing.
Yeah.
Check his channel out. We're trying to get everything across for about the American Red Snapper, trying to fight NOAA because they're trying to make really bad decisions, as they have been for the last, well, it's been 15 years now that they started this red snapper ban.
And originally, I don't necessarily. I'm not going to say that originally they didn't need to do something, because we did have an issue. We had gotten to an issue. I mean, we never had a problem finding our fish that were over 20 inches to keep, and we was 2 per person. We never had a problem finding those fish, but the way larger fish, we did. You know, in retrospect, we did, and they needed to do something then. But it's just out of control now. They're not applying the science right. So I'm going to do it for them, and then they can get paid. I'll go ahead and do their job. You know, I'm that nice of a guy. I'm going to do their job for them, and they can get paid to do it.
Dull Hooks and Dumb Luck Fishing.
Dull Hooks, Dumb Luck Fishing. I'm going to try to, I've already got one video up there that kind of goes over some stuff, but I'm really going to like point everything out that's going on, and really make all the connections. That way, whenever you guys, please, while you're there, make the comments that, you know, you use the money properly for an artificial reef. Open up a slot size. You know, it's just, it just makes sense. Like I said a few minutes ago, if I go 34 times a year, you're already at least breaking even. If I can keep one of those 2-year-old fish every time I go, and you're already breaking even, at least breaking even, because I'm trying to catch fish on that one day you give me that's over 10 years old, because I want as much bang for my buck riding all the way out there to try to get one. So anyway, and there's other factors too of throwing back smaller ones, looking for that bigger one. You know, when you're trying to stop us from throwing all these back, well, then let's just not throw them back. Let's utilize it. I mean, it's a natural resource. Let's make it a little more natural again instead of totally out of balance and out of whack. So, all right. Well, thanks, guys. Give me a day or two. I'm going to try to get it up tomorrow, posted, but you can watch the other video to kind of get going on it. And then we'll go from there with this one. And I'm going to have everybody's contact information on there. You guys take the time. You need to wear them out, because if you don't, you'll have plenty of time for 3 months starting next year. So that's it for me. Watch the video.
All right, well, we'll get back to y'all. Well, I'll put a link in the description for this, to go to Blake's channel to find that video. And hope y'all have a good day.